So before we begin and dive into this, there's something I would like to share. There's three kids that were taken today. Today's Thursday, December 5th, 2024. And they were taken this morning. So I'm gonna play this TikTok just because it explains it better. It is from Freedom Over Everything. That's the name of the account. Three children were just taken, kidnapped at the same exact time at the Bobby's Way apartment complex in Fisherville, Virginia on Thursday morning. That is today. This is according to the Augusta County Sheriff's Office. So, Augusta County Sheriff's Office responded to a 911 call from the children's mother at 8:27 a.m. The three children were waiting for the bus when a black four-door vehicle pulled up to the bus stop and took all three children at the same time. This is a parent's worst nightmare. All three babies were snatched at the same time this morning. We need to react TikTok. We need to spread this and get people looking. Jamarcus Lewis, he's black 10, Jemiah Lewis 8, Jalea Lewis 6. So we have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Both Jemiah and Jalea were both wearing pink jackets, while Jamarcus was wearing a black and dark blue jacket with neon zippers, is what the Augusta County Sheriff's Office said. They were taken approximately at 7. The last time they were seen was approximately at 7:40 a.m. at the bus stop. So guys, this is what the internet's for, what the satellites are for. We need to figure out where are the. So yeah,
Oh
so
my
I'm
God.
sharing this. Yeah, that's horrible. Imagine your three kids taken at the same time. I mean, that's horrible. So please, please, you guys, if anything, just pass along the where whenever you see this. Hopefully they've been found, but either way, retweet it, repost it, or just send out the message, please. I have also reposted it on my account. So yeah, let's hope that these kids are returned home safely.
Oh my God. Like that just I cannot imagine. Like I mean, like any
Yeah.
parent, cause like like with unfortunately, like you know that's a known schedule. Like anyone probably know. Like oh, kids are gonna start gathering up for the bus. Like that's just that's just scary. And again, like how not just one or two, like all three of your children, and like again, like this is what I'm saying. Like people are, it's got more scary, cause like again, like people in broad daylight do this fucking shit.
Mhm.
It was at this point that Noodles realized that her mic was completely off, so from now on you'll only be hearing Mita and Musica.
Just this content is for entertainment purposes only, and opinions expressed here are ours personally. All right, you guys. So today's topic, we're gonna dive into it, is the ant theory,
And
and
theory.
the ant theory. So here's the thing, right? I don't know exactly when I started talking about that. It was a couple of years, and it was
Oh
one of
yeah, it was a long
those.
time ago that you told us this.
Yeah, and it was one of those. We have our late night talks, and I love to. We always like to talk about the universe and what it could be and stuff like that, right?
Like it
And
was us just
so,
speculating, pretty much.
right. And so I said, you know what? The ant theory. The thing is, right, that my I guess I must have seen it somewhere. I don't have the source where I looked it up or anything, so I do apologize for that because it was many years ago. But the thing was, right, we were talking about aliens, and one of there's many theories about where aliens come from, or the existence of us and all of that. And one of the theories that I particularly liked, that I could see happening, was the ant theory. And the way that I heard it was that, imagine right now the world of an ant. The ant is really tiny in comparison to us. Can you imagine, like, do ants even know that we exist? Because they are so tiny. If you stand an ant next to a man, how in proportion size, that's huge. The ant probably doesn't even know that we exist.
Mhm.
And the times that we interact with ants, I'm pretty sure it's probably terrifying to the ant because they can't see the whole picture because they're tiny. And they can't really hear us because they're tiny. Now think about the hearing, right? Our ears or whatever. I don't even know how ants hear actually in this theory, or if they feel themselves. I don't know. But the proportion is tiny. So even our voices, like how do our voices even reach to them? And if they do, how do they sound? Does it sound like thunder to them? So now it's the question was, what if the aliens are already here? They're just too big for us to see, you know? How do we know if maybe they have been trying to contact us? Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's so much evidence that they have. But what if the reason the disconnect is that we are their ants and they are just too big for us to really see the whole picture? And that thought to me was like, okay, I could totally see it, right? And then not too long ago, actually, a couple of days ago, I saw another TikTok where they were kind of talking about this and they were saying also they were talking about the speed. So, you know, in movies, when they portray giants, like giants in movies, they always move slow, like, ooh, right? They always move slow. Think of, you know, any giant movie that you've seen a giant. Okay. Well, that's actually
Mm.
true. That's actually true. Us, to an ant, to an insect, we move slow to their perspective. So think of a fly. To a fly, you know how if a giant, when you've seen it, I could see it in a cartoon, like a giant, and then like a person is trying to walk and the giant swats at it, but doesn't catch it because it's too slow,
Mhm.
and the person runs away. Okay. That's literally us with flies. That's why it's hard because to the fly, we are not moving fast to the fly's perspective because the fly is smaller, so the fly can move faster. That blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, that's why a lot of the times we miss because we're slow enough for them to see us coming. Isn't that crazy? So, would it, to me, that's okay, I can believe that theory because yes, I could see it if these aliens or these beings are just huge that we can see them. Like maybe the spacecraft or whatever that we've seen, it's like their way of trying to communicate with us. I mean, how many kids that, I mean, I don't know any kids, but there's like in movies and stuff I've seen it where they get a magnifying glass and they try to burn the ants with the magnifying glass. Like,
Uh-huh.
what does that look like to the ant?
One being at them.
Yeah, see? So like cow mutilations or all of that shit, the crops and everything, you know, what if it's them either just going about their life? Maybe some of them don't even know we're here and don't even care. Really? Because, like, do you care for the life of an ant? Like, do you care? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that animal, people, what are they called? The animal welfare people probably would be like, you should care for an ant. But in reality, do we sit here and think, like, what is an ant's life like?
Probably not really,
You
no.
know, going along that theory, now it's like if can you try to get an ant and can you make an ant understand the concept of love, the concept of sympathy, of empathy, of anything that can we right now actively tell the ant those things? The ant, we can sit there and we can try talking to the ant, but I don't think the ant would really understand what we're saying. I'm not saying that they don't have that they don't have love in their. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from our perspective, it's really difficult for us to make an ant understand.
Mhm.
So now it's the same thing with the aliens, or the same thing with these beings. We're the ants, and they can come and tell us literally the secret of life. But to a lot of us, I think this is where, and I do tie in spirituality with this because I think that this is where you start waking up and you start connecting with your spirituality because maybe that's the only way. You know what I mean? When we start healing ourselves, when we start opening ourselves to these ideas, how this information will be known to us as we ascend. Because right now, in all these years, they have been trying to tell us this. They have been, but we're the ants. We don't, no comprende. You know what I mean? It's like, nope, sorry.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost similar to like one other ant theory that I heard of.
So tell me
And
your guys's
okay,
theories.
so this one I shared with Noodles because when I heard about it, I did think there was a cool thought, but like I don't know, like again, it was one of those things like the more I thought about it, it's like it kind of makes sense a little. So you know how like again like we work with D's whatever, and like there's always like stories or myths, so, like somehow you know meeting one of these mythical beings, or you somehow manage to like summon one, like okay, like say like demon summoning, like what's Cthulhu. That's just an example because that's what what they used in the example. And they said they brought in the ant theory, saying like okay, like imagine like us again, because of how Cthulhu is described, like he's a big ass monster, you know, like a big giant kraken looking thing, you know, like he's huge. And supposedly you do like I know like the whole theory with not the whole theory with Cthulhu. I know some cults of the Cthulhu is like if you give a sacrifice or an offering to Cthulhu, he more or less could give you what you want. But sometimes people will say like if you're not careful, like he gives it to you, but like in a very fucked up kind of way.
Oh gosh.
And they're saying like imagine like okay like what if somehow it's like imagine like us small beings like literally barely the size of his damn nails.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
imagine like you say like someone saying like if we could somehow human beings collectively summon Cthulhu, why can't an ant summon a human being? And this person say, imagine all of a sudden you see these ants form a circle around you or near you, and you're like, huh, like what the hell's going on here? You look at it and you like, again, they somehow let themselves know, they somehow acknowledge you. They think, oh my god, yes, we summoned a big giant primordial being that's gonna give us what we ask it, and you're like, what the hell's like what? Like you don't know how to explain to an ant that you're not what they think you are, and they just start asking you for a bunch of stuff. Like one asks to finding love, one wants to not go to work and have any worries, another one wants to have their freedom and like just a lot of free time. And you, because like they thought they summoned you, you're this being that could grant them this, and you're just a regular human being. Like, what the hell do I do? And you know, like, because you're big and everything, you're like, okay, this is what I'll do then. So for the one for love, they just smash up a bunch of the ants. So now there's very few ants, and it's like there. Now you have a chance to find love. And again, because you did that, now the person who doesn't want to go out and do anything is like, oh well, I probably more than likely destroy your job, so there you now have free time. And again, it's like that's the whole theory that like we are not exactly summoning like these magical beings, but we're technically summoning like regular beings somehow, and they're just like, well, since I was called here, I might as well I guess help in my sense of a way. But again, because like it's like I said, the size difference is like what can you do except
Yeah.
you know like a weird like chaos helping in a way, if you guess, I guess you could say. You are fulfilling their wishes, just not the way that they imagined.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. You look back in any mythology around the world, half the time when they ask for something or like for a favor, for the offering or for the summons that they do, in most of the time it doesn't really go their way. It's not exactly how they wanted it to happen, but they got what they wished.
Right.
Like with like with King Midas's touch. Like he asked for infinite amount of gold, and now everything he touched went to like
was turning to gold, but
turned into gold. Yeah. Granted, yes, like that's actually more like supernatural being, but again, like imagine like somehow like then that would be more explained for like how it's like with alchemy. This person's like, oh, I made this lotion. Now everything you touch turns into this. You have that now, you know?
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like that makes a lot of sense. Like somehow you just managed to accidentally summon this random person who looks bigger than you or like more like magical and new and like, oh, you look like you could do some stuff for me, and they're like, bro, I was just walking down the street, why the fuck did you call me? So I can just imagine like all of a sudden you see a circle of ants, they think they summoned you, you're like, how can I help?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling Noodles yesterday. I think we were talking about aliens because we like to go and sit outside, and me personally, I'm like, I want to look at the sky. It again, like I tell you, we were talking about this offline, and I was saying how this whole year for me, it's all been about water. Like, so I don't know, something about water all this year. But also, it's been more like I need to go outside and breathe in the fresh air and see the sky. Really, that's, I don't know why. I've been feeling like that, and it's been more and more lately. But also, they were talking about, oh, the aliens, everybody go outside, and there's been a lot of like mass sightings. But I was telling Noodles, I said, but okay, why is it? I think that a lot of us, because I'm seeing it across social media where people are saying, oh, just let us know when we can stop paying rent. Oh, let us know when we don't have to show up to work. And I'm thinking, what is it that makes us all believe that they're gonna get here and they're these magical beings? They're not genies. Like, I feel like that's, I don't know. But the Noodles said her perspective on that.
Which is, I'm curious to hear this now.
Well, you said that you started saying how it's not really like the reason that people don't really, that they say, can we not go to work now, just tell us when not to pay. And you're saying that the reason they believe that, or they're saying that it's more because of like the shock. But I don't think, I mean, I think they're coming in peace, because I think that if they wanted to get rid of us, they would have already done it. I mean, so I really don't think, I mean, my belief is that they're just beings that are in higher dimensions than us. And they, whatever powers or whatever they have, it's already within us. Like, I'm I think that they're gonna come here to teach us how to access that. I don't think it's gonna be just freely given. And for some of us, it'll come easier because at what stages it is, and for some of us, it won't. That's my belief. I choose to believe that because, like I said, I'm thinking, what would be the purpose of them showing up? And when I say showing up, we're talking about them on a worldwide type of thing. How do you guys even think that would happen?
I agree. Like, it had to be like very like in your face to like everybody.
Like, you
Otherwise,
would think,
it's like the whole like you tell a friend like, oh, I saw this, and you have like no, like you saw this amazing like fantastic thing ever, but like you have no proof or a showing of how what like it existed, how amazing it was and everything, and they're like, oh, okay, like cool, you just meh.
well, yeah, because it's like, I think they would have to show up where everybody sees them. You know what I mean? I think that's because it's like you said, they have been showing up. People have been seeing them for many, many years. I mean, they're even on old paintings. I don't remember the name of that painting right now, and I can look it up, but it's a religious painting, and in that religious painting, there's a UFO. It's called the Madonna. It's called Madonna and Child with the infant Saint John. It can be found in the Hercules room of the Palazzo Vecchio and is affectionately known locally as Madonna del UFO, Our Lady of the Flying Saucer. And this piece, it was painted in the 15th century. And if you just, all I did right now is I just Googled old painting with UFO in it, and it came up. So they've been around. You know what I mean? They've been around. So I think they're not coming I don't think they're coming for war. I still pose the same question. How would you, let's say there's an ant colony, and this is horrible, right? Because we have actually had ant colonies in our backyard. We have a huge backyard, and we have actually had ant colonies there. But normally, what do people do? We would destroy them, which is so sad. But like, let's say there's an ant colony and you want to make contact with it. How would that even look like? And
Okay,
then,
now I know what
yeah,
Noodles will do.
and then what's gonna happen? You're gonna get stung. That's us shooting. think, think about it, right? That's us shooting. Like, just, that's their version. They're literally shooting at us. So what do? Bomb them. You know what I mean? Like, OMG. That's it, you guys. I just cracked the code. I know what's happening. We're the ants. Never mind, they are coming to kill us. I'm just kidding. That's it.
And it's very slow because, like, how long has it been already?
I mean, the 15th century. Come on now. No, if there's a real alien or a being higher than the dimension we are, and would like to talk, and we invite you to Bluntly Talking Podcast. We want to talk to you. Imagine what that conversation would be like. But God, I mean, I keep going to the ants because imagine if you could sit and talk to an ant, what that conversation would be like. And if they would, oh my God, I just thought of what you said, Witchy, with the when you summon, but like if they get it wrong, but it's not intentional, right? It would like that would be the conversation with the ant. Like the ant could be, why have you destroyed so many of my homes, And
Mm-hmm.
our defense is going to be like, well, you guys keep stinging us and stinging our pets. But then they can turn around and be like, well, because like, there's a war that's been going on for many years, for centuries, between us and the ants. So that's why yeah, like maybe that's why they sting, because to them, we're just the destroyers of their homes. That's a legit stoner thought right there. Does that make sense to you, Witchy?
It does a bit, yeah. But I agree, you guys are stoners.
No, but like, because I was just thinking, holy shit. I mean, literally, I feel like that is what's happening with and I'm doing air quotes here, with the aliens out there. I feel, or us when people pray to God because something bad has happened. People that ask, why do tsunamis happen? Why do earthquakes, why do natural disasters happen? Like, how would they talk to us if we don't? There's that language barrier, I'm sure. I hope that in my lifetime, I do get to experience something huge like that. I really do hope so. I mean, I've had that since I was a kid. I don't understand. I mean, I met one person, and you will know, you too, Noodles, that was terrified of aliens. Like, just the thought, the word alien, like, oh no, she just could not. And I didn't understand that because, I don't know. But there are people that, I mean, have had some bad experiences. So, I don't know. But
No,
I definitely
yeah,
do
like the
think,
people who claim to have been like adopted and stuff like that.
yeah. And there's good stories and bad stories. There's people that feel, people that say that they got hurt. But then there's other people that have had good experiences. I don't know. But I do think that we are the ants to them. I do think that. Or the
Then the only thing I have
insects.
to say is world domination.
Exactly. Well, maybe that's where the fear comes from, right?
Yeah,
That
maybe.
here's these beings that have more power than us or whatever.
Again, the whole theory of the Cthulhu thing that we just unintentionally
Yeah.
summoned big ass giant squids. Like, okay, your new god.
Well, yeah, because like in the movies, right? Like King Kong or Godzilla movies, there are people, right, that see them as gods
Yeah.
because they're like so huge. So I could see that. I could see that for sure. I think this is a fun theory. I like this theory,
It could be
of
fun, but I
our
think it also could
existence.
like I could see how it could probably get out of hand and make people like fearful and stuff like that. Like again, like people's it's just one of the many theories flowing out in the world. You never know.
Right. Mhm. Right.
Mm. That speck, yeah,
Yeah.
on that freaking dandelion of all things.
Whoville. They're in a snowflake. Yeah. Well, yeah, because who are we, right, to think that we're the top of the food chain? Who are we to think that and we're not, because we die from earthquakes, we die from tsunamis, we die from like natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes. We die from all of that. And it's, you either believe, it depends on what you believe. It's either Mother Nature, it's science, or it's God. Think of back in the days of anything that happened like that, it was because the gods were mad. So in reality, that could be it. We are just, because we create those things for smaller insects, we create those things for an ant. It's like, who are we to think, right, that we're at the top of the food chain? Like, no, we're not. I don't know. I mean, I think these are theories that they're fun to talk about, and especially when you're high, especially if you're herbally refreshed, such as moi. Because I do think that a lot of the times that's when we get a lot of ideas. I get a lot of ideas. The birth of this podcast was because of that. So it can't be all that bad. But yeah, these are fun theories to think about, I think. Do I believe 100% that the ant theory first, like, that is the reality? No. I think some of it, what I said about the spirituality, I think that's a good way of explaining it. Maybe you guys, when, like, all the authors that have, and writers that have made stories about, for example, like Harry Potter, Narnia, The Wizard of Oz, all of these. I mean, even myself, right? Like, I'm a storyteller, and I've written some stuff, nothing published, obviously. I mean, hopefully soon, or hopefully one day. But my stories that I have, you, Witchy, as well, I know you're a writer. What if all of those ideas, all those things that come up in our head, what if those are different timelines that we've experienced, or like we subconsciously or wait, what is the opposite of subconsciously?
Unconsciously.
Unconsciously. If we unconsciously are reaching into that reality and taking those stories from that. And that's how Star Wars is born. And that's why there is a Star Wars reality. Because it is real. It does exist. I wonder if ants, or, if ants have spirituality or something like that.
I mean, no, yeah. I mean, my whole thing from understand from a lot of things that I've read is that anything and everything, whether it's living, non-living, consciously or unconsciously, like everything has a sense not only of energy but like a bit of like essence in them. Now, whether or not they know how to use it or utilize it in some any way, that's a whole different story. But like, I understand like everything has something in it, you know?
Because imagine how our religious stuff looks to aliens. I hate saying the word aliens. What's another word we can use? Visitors? I don't know.
Dimensional beings.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if it looks so primitive to them, I feel like it is. It's gotta
Probably.
be. It's gotta be because, yeah. Anyways, you guys. Well, I think that we could talk about this forever and ever, because I could go on, and I know that this started off as the ant theory, but that's how it is, right? We go from one thing to another. But yeah, I would love to know your ideas, your theories. Do you believe in the ant theory, or what other theories? I mean, do you believe? Do you believe in the multiple reality theories, or some reality theory that we didn't say? Put it down in the comments. Let us know how you guys feel about it. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I am Mita,
I'm Musica.
And I'm Noodles.
and we're bluntly talking. Bye.
Bye.
See you laters.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow us on our other social media.